Next, we are going to talk about the Dripper. It's just called the Dripper from Senio mods. A lot of people are referring to it as the Senio Dripper because if you just called it the Dripper, people wouldn't know what you were talking about. So, but it's the Dripper by Senio mods. It is available. The name of this song is Cosmogenesis. This is Keith Moreau, or Keith Marrow. I think it's Moreau. But yes, I like this song also. So Jedi's going to post the Senio mods link into chat for you. So let's talk about the Senio Dripper. It is stainless steel or brass in a number of different finishes, different prices depending on the finish, different prices depending on the options. So one of the cool things about this device is it's really, really flexible with how you can order it and what you can get. You can get different size air holes, you can get different finishes, you can get extra top caps, you can get extra spare parts. So the price really varies. If you get a standard Senio Dripper, the standard is stainless steel, flat top cap, satin finish, which is actually a brushed finish. It's 190 Polish, whatever the hell, Polish currency. I don't remember what they're called. We'll call them niblets. 190 Polish niblets. If you get the mixed stainless steel and brass flat top cap satin finish, that one is 290 Polish niblets. Other options: extra stainless steel top cap, 105 more niblets. Optional mixed extra top cap, an extra 210. You can get a logo engraving for 50. You can get a brushed finish for 21. You can get the service kit, which is O-rings, extra peak, extra nuts, extra center post. I'm sorry, not extra center post. That's only for the Genesis atomizer. That's an extra 30. So you can get all kinds of different options with it. The materials are stainless steel and brass, depending on the request. Diameter is 22 millimeter. It has 20 by 1 threading. Or 22, yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, 20 by 1 threading. So what that is it's pretty much the industry standard threading for a 22 millimeter atomizer. So it actually doesn't have a 510 connection on it. You would need to have a 22 millimeter mod, take the top cap off of this, and screw the device directly into the top. Now, why would you do that, you might ask? The reason for that is it's going to improve the conductivity because you don't have the 510 connection in the way. You're essentially turning your mod into a hybrid dripper. So as you can see here, there is no top cap on this mod here. The dripper is screwed directly into the mod. We'll show you that here in just a moment. The tank capacity, they say on the site it's about 0.3 milliliters, but you know, I mean, that varies on the setup, whether you use silica or not. You know, if you do a mesh setup, if you make a solid mesh versus a hollow mesh, you know, it'll be able to suck up a little more juice. So, you know, it varies. Stock air hole size is 1.3 millimeter. I had this one made in a 1.2 because, like I said, you can get different sizes. And like, you know, like I said, you can set it with mesh or silica. So let's show this little guy off real quick. Yep, this will fit on a PAPS, this will fit on a Caravella, this will fit on a bare brass mod, this will fit on pretty much, well, not any, it'll fit on a Swan, It'll fit on a Gus 22 millimeter. So most 22 millimeter devices it's going to fit on, because most of them do use that standard 20 by 1 threading. There are a couple exceptions, like the Pulse doesn't use 20 by 1, so you wouldn't be able to use it on the Pulse. But the vast majority of 22 millimeter mechanical mods, you're going to be able to use it. Yes, Nemesis, you can use it on the Nemesis. Thank you, that was the one I forgot, Pack. So let's show what this little guy looks like. So under the cap on this one, this is it's got a pretty big top cap on the inside there. It's a little roomy. Part of the reason for that is because it's 22 millimeter. It doesn't have the reduced chamber like you have on the Hellfire. And then the Addy deck itself, it looks very similar to what you saw with the Hellfire, except it's raised a little bit. So, here, let me turn off. Well, you know what? Let's try it first and see if we can get this to... oh, look at you behaving. Well, thank you. So that's what it looks like underneath. You've got a bunch of washers and a couple of stainless steel parts. You do get the what's it called? Allen key with it for the negative screw or the ground screw there, and then the positive screw has a knurled ring that you can just do with your fingers. And as you can see, let me turn it this way a little bit. The connector point for the wire is raised up a little bit. So the advantage of that is you'll actually be able to get a little bit more juice in there before it starts to flood the coil, which is nice. So that's actually one of the things that I really like about this guy. It's got a pretty good size lip on there too, which again, you know, it's going to let you hold a little bit more juice in the device. Hold on a sec. Pop the cap back on here. Oops. Oh. Damn it. There we go. So I want to show you what else it comes with. Now, you can also get it with the mixed top cap, which is this guy, which is a mixed brass and stainless steel top cap. The brass is not in contact with your juice. If you're concerned with that, it's just a brass layer around the outside. Much like with the Senesis. You can also get, this is that little pack I told you about with the extras. It's got extra piece of PEEK plastic, extra O-ring, bunch of extra washers, extra screw. It's got extra small O-rings as well. So you got all the extra goodies. If you bust anything, you've got everything covered there. The connection on the device I want to show you real quick. So, like I said, it's 20 by 1 threading, as you can see here. There is no 510 connection. And then you also have this adjustable little long nut on the inside there. Basically, you can screw and unscrew that in order to make connection with the positive post or the positive end of your battery, so that it's nice and snug and screws down all the way and fits tight so there's no battery rattle, while still allowing you to screw the device all the way in, which is quite nice. So let me put this guy back on. So as you can see here, hold on. You can't see because I'm not holding it up to the camera, but so as you can see, it threads down nice. There's no gap there. You know, and there's no, you can see here, I'm shaking it, no battery rattle at all. Let's vape it. Okay. So, how does it vape? Vapor looks good. Very tasty. What juice was that? This is called Bowden's Mate from Five Ponds, and the other one I'm vaping is actually Buff Out from Louis Monsante from Louis E-Juice Creations, I think is the name of his little company. Hold on. Sorry, it's really good. I had to take a couple puffs there. So, how's it vape? Really good. It's got good flavor. It's got very good flavor. Um, I almost wish I hadn't used this side by side with the Hellfire Dripper, because I think I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. It's a really good device. It has really good flavor. The flavor is not quite on par with the Hellfire Dripper, but it's still very good in the grand scale of higher end devices. You know, drippers compared to Genesis style, compared to, you know, rebuildable bottom feeders, etc. This is on the very good to excellent flavor side. But if, you know, if I only had to pick one dripping atomizer to bring with me onto a desert island, and, you know, I would go with the Hellfire. But not to take away from this guy, though, because it is a really good dripper. It has really good flavor. The vapor production is really good. I wonder if I had ordered this in a 1mm air hole rather than a 1.2mm air hole, if the flavor would have been comparable to the Hellfire. That may be the difference, because as you can see, I am getting a little bit more vapor production from this than I was from the Hellfire. The vapor is a little bit thicker because it does have a larger air hole, so you're going to have more airflow. The vapor is very warm, like the Hellfire. The flavor is just not quite as sharp, and I do think that, you know, the air hole size has a lot to do with that. And then, you know, the size of the chamber too. Looks-wise, I think I like the Senio better personally. I really like my 22mm mods. The Hellfire does look awesome on the MyPoint, but most of my preferred mods are 22mm, like the Caravella and the Verbrass mods. And this looks dope on both of them. It looks really awesome on both. So, you know, and the hybrid connector on it is really cool. It gives it a really, really sleek look and a really nice look to it. Do like that a lot. So the vapor or the flavor on it is like, you know, if the Hellfire Dripper is a 10 out of 10, this is like an 8.5-ish ballpark. So it's still very, very good, just not quite on par with that. Positives and negatives, I think it looks beautiful. As I said, the finish looks great. The finish on it, if you get it in a brushed and you have a Caravella brush to have it sit on top, it actually matches perfectly. I don't know if you can see how well that finish matches up there, but it really looks fantastic together. Yeah, and I like that it has a little more room for juice than, you know, some of the other ones like the Hellfire. It's got a little more room to work with because it's a 22, so you can make a fatter wick. You can actually fit a solid U wick in here, which is what I have set up. I'm actually using 200 mesh, and that's a solid wick that I have shaped into a U on the inside of the device there, so that the wick really soaks up a ton of juice, so it holds quite a bit. You know, I only put like 6 or 7 drops in here, but I've been able to put you know, 15 big dripper bottle drops in here without a problem and without it flooding the coil or having any issues with it dripping out of the air holes. So yeah, there you go. Really good vapor production too, like I said, and the flavor is very, very good. So, you know, it's got negatives by comparison. I should say it's not quite, like I said, as sharp a flavor as the Hellfire, but it's an exceptional atomizer. I definitely recommend it. Build quality is fantastic. It looks fantastic. It vapes fantastic. Holds a good amount of juice for a dripper. Real easy to set up. So overall, definitely recommend the device. And yeah, that's the Dripper from Senio.